Chapter 4006. We're being targeted. Wang Xian looked at the 8 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunters and spoke with flickering eyes. Not good, quickly send a signal for help, quickly ask for help, we are no match for them at all. Why are these demon hunters staring at us? Damn it, it's going to be hard for us to escape now. Barbarian Saint, Liu Yu Saintess, Wang Xian Saint, what should we do? Panicked voices came from the mouths of the holy sons and holy daughters. They looked at this scene with bitter expressions. Oh no! The barbarian saint and Liu Yu Saintess looked at this scene with a solemn and embarrassed expression. Kill them. It shouldn't be a problem for each of you to deal with 2 of them, right? Wang Xian waved his arm and 40 spatial attribute inborn cardinal treasure level spatial swords hovered above him. Each of the swords exuded a terrifying aura. Leave the 4 of them to me. I'll kill them all. Wang Xian said coldly. He moved without hesitation and charged towards the 4 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunters on the right. Although it was difficult to fight 3 or 4 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunters after advancing to a higher realm, but with the Tianyuan sword technique, it wasn't a problem for Wang Xian, especially since he had many treasures in his hands. He had 40 swords that were comparable to inborn cardinal treasure level. These were all obtained from the Void Pagoda. Big brother Wang Xian, be careful. Long Yinyin was shocked and shouted worriedly when he saw Wang Xian charging towards the 4 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunters. Don't worry, just 4 demon hunters. Wang Xian waved his arm and charged over with 40 inborn cardinal treasure level spatial sword. When the 4 demon hunters saw Wang Xian charging over, they waved their sharp claws in a frenzy. Waves of energy tore towards him. Swish swish swish. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 40 spatial swords met them head-on. In the midst of the charge, the 40 swords changed their positions and condensed into a sword formation. Boom. Bam bam bam. Sounds of collision could be heard and Wang Xian's aura didn't seem to be at a disadvantage. Su su su. With a wave of his arm, the 18 swords flew above his head and began to spin, forming sword mound. Following which, a horrifying sword of space landed in Wang Xian's hand. This was a spatial sword condensed from energy, but it contained an unparalleled might of the sword Dao. This Saint Wang Xian is actually able to fight against 4 alone. The boundless barbarian saint's eyes widened and he couldn't help but scream. Space attribute, surpassing levels to fight 1 against 4. This shocked the barbarian saint. With his talent and the treasures in his hands, it wouldn't be a problem for him to kill 2 magical beasts of the same level. However, if there were 3 of them, he would be no match for them at all. But now, Wang Xian was going against 4 of them. Moreover, he was not at a disadvantage at all. This caused him to be incomparably shocked. How could the strength of Saint Wang Xian be so terrifying? So strong, Saint Sun Vi Barbarian. We'll each take 2 of the other 4. Holy Maiden Liu Yu stared at the 2 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters in astonishment. With a flash, she locked onto the 2 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters. Alright, I'll leave the Devil Hunters in front to you guys. We'll deal with the 8 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters. The boundless barbarian saint wielded the giant sword and charged forward like a thunderstorm. He raised the giant sword in his hand, drew a lightning arc, and slashed forward. This Saint Wang Xian is so strong. He's going against 4 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters alone. Yeah, he's not at a disadvantage at all. Wang Xian's swordsmanship is too strong. He has too many treasures in his hands. These 40 swords are all innate cardinal treasures. Oh my, isn't this too horrifying? The saints and saintesses exclaimed in astonishment. They saw Wang Xian fighting alone against 4 and not at a disadvantage. Wang Xian's terrifying combat strength and the 40 innate cardinal treasures swords shocked them. He actually has so many innate cardinal treasure spatial swords. How is this possible? And his space sword technique. Saint Xuan'ai and the rest in the Forbidden Void were also shocked when they saw this scene, as well as a strong sense of jealousy. 40 innate cardinal treasure spatial attribute sword. This was crazy. What kind of legacy did he get? Why does he have such powerful swordsmanship and so many supreme treasures? The Saintess of the Forbidden Void couldn't help but send a voice transmission to Saint Shu Ni. I don't know. Saint Shu Ni also shook his head. In the entire sword and sorcery universe, the strongest expert in the space attribute was the Laozu of the Forbidden Void. If one wanted to cultivate the strongest space arts, the Forbidden Void was the only place. This was widely acknowledged by the entire universe. However, a young man who was even more demon-like than them had suddenly appeared. He was merely an existence from a small forbidden void. How could they not be shocked and jealous that he had such treasures and swordsmanship? Fight. Get rid of all the demonic beasts in front. At this time, the Saintess of the Forbidden Void's voice sounded and ordered all the saints and saintesses. The group of saints and saintesses immediately recovered and attacked the hundreds of demonic beasts in front of them. With the sword array above his head and the heavenly Yuan sword array in his hand, Wang Xian teleported and appeared behind a devil hunter. In the sky, the other 22 swords hovered in the air and attacked continuously. When the devil hunter saw Wang Xian attacking him, he swung his arm. His entire arm that was like a sharp blade grew to 1,000 meters long and slashed at Wang Xian. Bam! The sharp blade on his arm collided with Wang Xian's sharp sword, creating a loud bang. The demon hunter's body couldn't help but be sent flying backward. Wang Xian saw it and rushed forward. The sword of space in his hand also grew to 10,000 meters long. From top to bottom, he slashed at the devil hunter. It roared with a frenzied expression. At the side, the other 3 devil hunters saw this and hurried to help. Bam, bam, bam. The 10,000 meters long sword slashed forward but was blocked by the 4 devil hunters. Wang Xian swung his arm and the sword in his hand pierced forward. The sword array above him also shifted rapidly. Wang Xian swung his arm and the other 22 swords began to teleport to a certain spot in the surrounding. The space power in Wang Xian's body vibrated. Waves of space power were transferred to the swords, forming a sword mound. Roar roar. The 4 devil hunters stared at the swords that were attacking them and roared furiously. Golden energy radiated from their eyes as they tried to destroy the swords. Chapter 4007. Bam, bam, bam. Terrifying collisions were heard. Golden radiance erupted from the eyes of the 4 demon hunters. As they collided with Wang Xian's 10,000-meter sword, a terrifying sound was heard. The sword of space collapsed and the golden radiance dissipated. Roar, 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 roar. The 4 demon hunters pounced towards Wang Xian when they saw the sharp swords being destroyed. Magical beasts were best at close combat. It was especially so for the demon hunters. Their entire body was a weapon. The 4 demon hunters were ferocious and fast. When Wang Xian saw it, he froze for a moment and disappeared instantly. The other 18 sharp swords floated around him and started to lay down the sword mound. Roar. The demon hunter in the middle roared and 3 of them charged towards Wang Xian again. As for the other one, it attacked the space swords one by one. They could sense a threat from the sword of space. Separate. Courting death. Wang Xian smiled eerily when he saw this. He moved and flew to a faraway position. The 3 demon hunters immediately chased after him. Wang Wang. When he flew for a certain distance, his figure became a little illusory. Teleportation. The moment he teleported, the 3 demon hunters had already sensed the location of Wang Xian's teleportation. They swung their arms and a terrifying bone spike shot out from their arms. Wang Xian's eyes remained calm when he saw this. He looked at the demon hunter that was attacking the sword of space. Sword 22, sword formation, activate. Wang Xian let out a low roar. The 22 sharp swords that were laid out in the air vibrated violently. The sharp swords on top of it revolved, and the densely packed swords were like a storm, directly attacking the demon hunter. Roar, roar. The demon hunter felt threatened. It stared at the swords and crossed its arms and limbs. It formed a sphere. It roared madly, and waves of energy surged out of its body. The energy was blood red, golden, and dark. It was an unusual mix of colors. It was unusually violent. This was a violent force. The moment it sensed that its life was threatened, it went berserk. After Wang Xian launched an attack, he quickly dodged to the side. 3 bone spikes were already in front of him. Su su su. Wang Xian constantly performed short-distance teleportation. With just a thought, he arrived at another place. However, the bone spur seemed to have a life of its own as it locked onto Wang Xian. No matter how he teleported, he would be pursued. Wang Xian teleported rapidly. His main focus was on the demon hunter that was being attacked. With a wave of his arm, the other 18 spatial swords formed 10-sword mound. He didn't continue to condense them. The 10-sword mounds instantly merged together and attacked the demon hunter. Bam bam bam. The 22 swords formation landed on the demon hunter, causing it to be drenched in blood. Clang. At this moment, the sharp swords formed by the 10-sword graves once again pierced through it. Ao ao. The demon hunter, who was already heavily injured, let out a frenzied and terrified roar when it saw the terrifying sword slashing towards it in an instant. Roar. When the other 3 demon hunters saw this, their expressions changed drastically, and they immediately flew towards it. Pu. However, they were still a step too slow. The sharp swords pierced through the body of the demon hunter. They pierced through it directly and obliterated it. Wang Xian revealed a faint smile when he saw this scene. He moved and continued to dodge the attack of the bone spur. One by one, the sharp swords flew towards Wang Xian. A total of 40 space swords arrived in front of him and attacked the bone spur. Bam bam bam. The inborn cardinal treasure level spatial swords collided with the bone spur. He easily blocked the attack. Roar. When the 3 demon hunters saw one of their companions dead, they let out furious roars. Fresh blood flowed from their bodies as they went berserk. Their golden eyes that were dripping with blood stared at Wang Xian as they attacked. Huh! Holy Sun Wang Xian has already killed a demon hunter. SSS. Holy Sun Wang Xian's strength is so terrifying. Impressive. Holy Sun Wang Xian has already killed one. However, the other 3 demon hunters have gone berserk. After going berserk, their strength isn't any weaker than the previous 4. Holy Sun Wang Xian could kill one just now. He can do the same now. Kill. The 6th Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunter has been blocked. The 5th Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunter has also been killed by Holy Sun Wang Xian and the rest. Let's kill the rest of the demon hunters. What terrifying strength he has. He can still kill a demon hunter in such a short period of time despite fighting against 4 alone. How terrifying. The group of saints and saintesses below sensed the battle on Wang Xian's side. Their faces were filled with shock. He could still kill a demon hunter in such a short period of time despite fighting against 4 alone. The strength of Holy Sun Wang Xian was truly invincible. On the other side, the barbarian saint and saintess Liu Yu sensed the battle and were also shocked. They knew that there was a huge gap between their strength and Wang Xian's. Kill. With a roar, they instantly burst forth. They possessed the best cultivation arts and treasures in the entire universe. Naturally, they didn't want to be weaker than others. Hehe, just the 3 of you? I can exhaust you to death. Wang Xian's face turned cold when he saw the 3 demon hunters going berserk. The strength of the demon hunters skyrocketed after going berserk. However, they couldn't maintain their berserk state forever. They wouldn't be able to hold on for more than 10 hours. When Wang Xian saw them charging towards him, he moved his body and dodged them immediately. The strongest move of a cultivator of the power of space was to escape. Escape. Roar. Roar. The 3 berserk demon hunters wanted to surround Wang Xian and attack him. They knew that the longer they stayed in their berserk state, the more damage they would suffer. Therefore, they wanted to kill Wang Xian as soon as possible. However, they couldn't catch up with Wang Xian's speed. Roar. 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 This infuriated them. Suddenly, one of the demon hunters roared and stared at the ground below. It locked its eyes on the group of saints and saintesses. Suddenly, it charged forward. Huh! They still have some intelligence. Wang Xian frowned slightly when he saw this. He waved his arm and the sharp swords flew out. He wasn't escaping but taking the initiative to attack. Below, the group of saints and saintesses felt a chill in their hearts when they were targeted by a 6th Order Sovereign Demon Hunter. They heaved a sigh of relief when they saw Wang Xian intercepting the demon hunter. They knew that they had held Wang Xian back. Chapter 4008, Clang Clang Clang. The sword of space let out a horrifying metallic sound. 40 sharp swords shot towards the front continuously. The 3 demon hunters saw Wang Xian attacking them again and seeing that he was no longer dodging. All of them roared and attacked Wang Xian directly. The sharp swords were slapped away by them. At the same time, their bodies were also sent flying backwards. Wang Xian stared at them with a cold gleam in his eyes. He moved his palm and the 40 sharp swords flew over quickly and hovered around him. Wang Xian shook his body and the sword mounds formed around him. He clenched his fist and all the sword mounds flew into his hand. A sword of space that contained horrifying might appeared in his hand again. Wang Xian looked at the sharp sword in his hand and revealed a sinister look. The sharp sword was 100 meters long. He held it in his hand and attacked the demon hunters one by one. Roar roar. The 3 berserk demon hunters charged towards Wang Xian immediately and clawed at him. Bam bam bam. Bam bam bam. Both parties engaged in close combat and streams of energy gathered on the sharp claws. Wang Xian's energy was gathered on this horrifying sharp sword. He waved the long sword and clashed with the 3 demon hunters. The frightening attack force sent the 3 demon hunters flying backwards. Hee, if all 4 of them go berserk, I might have to be wary. But if it's 3 of them, die. Wang Xian wielded the sword of space with both hands and locked his eyes on one of the demon hunters. In the past, Wang Xian could fight against 7 to 8 demon hunters. But as his level increased, the strength of his opponents also got stronger. However, as he had the space attribute, he had a large number of inborn cardinal treasure swords. He had creation-level swordsmanship. Horrifying perceptive ability. Under all these circumstances, his combat strength was extremely horrifying. He could still fight against 4 to 5 existences that were of a higher level than him. One should know that Wang Xian's physical body had been enhanced and his current strength was above that of a ruler. This had also benefited his doppelganger greatly. It wasn't a big problem to fight 3 demon hunters head-on, however, it would take some time to destroy a berserk hunter magical beast. Bam bam bam! Wang Xian came to a devil hunter quickly and slashed with the sharp sword in his hand. The 6th Order Sovereign Realm devil hunter struggled desperately with fear on its face. Roar! The other 2 demon hunters immediately came over to help. Once again, they engaged in a chaotic battle. Bam bam bam! Wang Xian relied on his strong senses and battle experience to engage them in an intense battle. With the Carnate Cardinal Sword and the Tianyuan Sword technique, he always had the upper hand. Large amounts of blood slowly appeared on the bodies of the 3 devil hunters. The battle continued to erupt. The 3 hunter magical beasts continued to howl. They raged. Terrifying energy surged in all directions, causing the entire world to change color. Wang Xian's expression remained unchanged. On the other side, the barbarian saint was fighting against 2 demonic beasts at the same time. He also had the upper hand. The Liu Yu saintess was not inferior either. All of the 6th Order Sovereign Realm devil hunters were suppressed. Below them, the Holy Sons and Holy Daughters had the upper hand. The powerful devil hunters had already been wiped out by Wang Xian and the rest. Therefore, they did not feel much pressure in the battle. One by one, the devil hunters were killed by them. The battle continued for more than 10 hours. The group of saint sons and saintesses had wiped out all the devil hunters. Phew! This made all of them heave a sigh of relief. They looked to the left and the sky with glistening eyes. Holy Son Wang Xian, the barbarian saint, and the Liu Yu saintess have the upper hand. It's especially so for Holy Son Wang Xian. I'm guessing the devil hunters will die after their frenzy ends. Holy Son Wang Xian is too brave. He's chasing after 3 devil hunters alone. He's too strong. The 3 devil hunters are already injured. If this goes on, Holy Son Wang Xian will definitely win. Holy Son Liu Yu and the Liu Yu saintess should be able to win as well. However, that might take some time. We're too weak to be of any help. The Holy Sons and Holy Daughters discussed among themselves as they looked at the 3 battlefields. Holy Daughter and Sansi, should we contact some seniors and ask for their help? A holy son asked the Holy Daughter of the obscene Forbidden Land. We've already contacted them. The nearest 6th Order sovereigns will come over. Holy Daughter and Sansi nodded. Our obscene Forbidden Land didn't send any experts over. Training is training. We can't send experts over just because we're in danger. Our Forbidden Land has 6th Order sovereigns in the surrounding areas. They're on their way. At this time, Saint Shu Ni of the Forbidden Land also spoke up. Yeah. Holy Daughter and Sansi nodded. She looked at the battlefields and said, let's watch from here and learn from them. The Holy Sons and Holy Daughters nodded. Now that the crisis was over, they felt much more relaxed. As time passed, the injuries of the demon hunters became more and more severe. However, these devil hunters didn't give up. Instead, they became even more bloodthirsty and violent. Wong wong wong, wong wong wong. After a few hours, figures suddenly appeared in the surrounding areas. Senior brother, Saint Shu Ni shouted when he saw the sudden appearance of more than a dozen figures. Junior brother, are you all right? Do you need us to lend a hand? Among the dozen figures, a middle-aged man who was the leader looked at them. He teleported over and scanned the 3 battlefields. I don't think so. The 3 saints should be able to handle them. Saint Shu Ni shook his head. Thank you, senior brother, for coming to help. Hehe, we're all from the same sect. Moreover, you guys are in danger. It's normal for us to come and take a look. The dozen experts from the Forbidden Land of the Void nodded their heads. There were more than a dozen of them. Among them, 3 were 6th Order sovereigns. The rest were 3rd Order to 5th Order sovereigns. This was also a strong team. What was different was that this team consisted of the saints and holy daughters of the Forbidden Land. Hey! Senior brother, look over there. That's the saint of the Roaring Dragon Forbidden Land, right? He's so strong, and the treasures in his hands are so strong. At this time, an expert from the Forbidden Land looked in Wang Xian's direction. He was shocked. Especially when he saw the 40 space swords surrounding Wang Xian. He was a little shaken. So many inborn cardinal treasure space swords. It was terrifying. Chapter 4009, Carnate cardinal treasures were extremely powerful even in the entire sword and sorcery universe. In fact, they were extremely precious and powerful weapons for all universes. The entire race in the Void Pagoda only had slightly more than 30 space-type carnate cardinal treasures. One could only imagine the preciousness of carnate cardinal treasures in the entire sword and sorcery universe, unless one was a saint or saintess from a powerful forbidden ground, the Sacred College. It was impossible to have more than 2 carnate cardinal treasures. As for the remaining supreme talents, there was only one. And this was under the circumstances of the supreme talents. Compared to the saints, saintesses, and supreme talents, there were more ordinary disciples. Many ordinary disciples at the Universe Lord level did not even have carnate cardinal treasures. And this phenomenon was even more obvious in the forbidden ground of space. In the forbidden ground of space, the current saints and saintesses only had 2 carnate cardinal treasures. This was because space-type treasures were extremely rare to begin with. Other than the saints and saintesses, only the more advanced supreme talents had them. Now that Wang Xian had taken out 40 carnate cardinal treasures, it was indeed shocking. Senior brother, he is the Saint Wang Xian. He obtained a large number of resources and treasures in the universe ruins, including the demonic pillar of a space-type expert. In addition, he also possesses extremely powerful sword techniques. His sword techniques are terrifying. You can take a look. Saint Shu Ni walked to the front of the few 6th Order Universe Lord Realm Senior Brothers and transmitted his voice. The few Senior Brothers nodded their heads slightly as they looked ahead. In front of them, Wang Xian had formed a sword mound with sharp swords, forming a sword array. The sword array formed a sharp sword and exploded with terrifying attacks. He was suppressing the 3 demon hunters. From time to time, during the battle, he would use his own energy to form a sword mound, forming a sword array to surround them. The attack power was exceptionally terrifying. This sword technique. Saint Shu Ni and the rest of the senior brothers were solemn when they saw Wang Xian's battle sword technique. Their eyes were fixed on Wang Xian and their expressions changed slightly. Saint Wang Xian is really powerful. He can suppress the 3 demon hunters even when they are in a frenzy. That's really impressive. Yeah, he's really impressive. You should know that Saint Wang Xian has already killed one. What kind of space sword technique is Saint Wang Xian using? It's really impressive. His strength is even stronger than the barbarian saint and Liu Yu Saintess. I reckon the 2 of them would have to join forces to fight him. Exclamations came from the surroundings as the holy sons, holy virgins, and geniuses discussed. The battle continued. After more than 10 hours, the 3 devil hunters tried to escape from Wang Xian. Yes. They wanted to escape. At this moment, the 3 demon hunters were dripping with blood, and their auras were much weaker than before. They roared in unison and immediately fled into the distance. Whoosh! At this time, an expert in the forbidden space below moved and instantly launched an attack on the escaping hunter magical beast. The spatial attribute of a 6th-order universe sovereign was able to suppress magical beasts of the same level. The terrifying attack heavily injured hunter demon hunters one after another. Pupu. Soon, the 3 hunter magical beasts were killed. The 4 demonic beasts that the barbarian Holy Son and Liu Yu Holy Daughter were dealing with flared up. They immediately fled into the distance. However, they were easily killed by the experts from the forbidden space. Thank you, senior brothers. The barbarian Holy Son and the rest looked at the experts from the forbidden space, cupped their fists, and expressed their gratitude. They should be thanking them for rushing over to help. Hehe, you're welcome. We were in the vicinity, so we rushed over. The experts from the forbidden space shook their heads and said with a smile. I still have to thank you, senior brothers. The hunter demon hunters that you killed will belong to you. Liu Yu Holy Daughter expressed her gratitude too. Wang Xian flew over and cupped his fist. All right, we won't stand on ceremony. Junior brothers and sisters, continue with your training. Let's go to the next level. The experts from the forbidden space smiled and took away the corpses of the hunter demon beasts that they had killed. After which, they waved their hands and left. Phew, it's all thanks to Holy Son Wang Xian that we could hang on for so long. I didn't expect you to be so strong. You're so much stronger than me. The barbarian Holy Son looked at Wang Xian and exclaimed. Hee. Wang Xian chuckled. He hesitated for a moment before looking at the barbarian Holy Son and the rest. Everyone, I'm going to act alone next. Huh. Wang Xian's sudden words stunned the barbarian Holy Son and the rest. But soon after, they understood something in their hearts. Wang Xian was a space attribute cultivator. His strength was stronger than all of them combined. If he encountered a powerful magical beast, he could teleport away instantly. If he went with them, he would be a burden. That's true. Given your strength, it's more suitable for you to act alone. If we go with you, we'll be a burden to you. Liu Yu Holy Daughter nodded and said. Since Holy Son Wang Xian wants to act alone, we won't force you. Be careful. The barbarian Holy Son nodded and said. We are indeed a burden to you. Please be careful when you act alone. The rest of the Holy Sons and Saintesses added. Big brother Wang Xian, Long Yinyan, Long Yinhao, and the rest looked at Wang Xian and shouted, Be careful. Yeah, you guys be careful too. I'll be fine. Wang Xian smiled and looked at the barbarian Holy Son and Liu Yu Holy Daughter. I'll have to trouble brother barbarian and Saintess Liu Yu to take care of my junior brothers and sisters. They are relatively weaker. No problem. Don't worry, brother Wang Xian. The barbarian Holy Son smiled and assured Wang Xian when he heard the change in the way Wang Xian addressed him. He knew that this was a small favor. Their relationship would also improve in the future. They had witnessed Wang Xian's strength. If he continued to grow in the future, he might become the strongest person below the creation realm of Heavenly Yuan. This was not impossible. Don't worry. Liu Yu Holy Daughter nodded with a smile. All right, we'll meet again in the near future. You guys can do whatever you want with the corpses of these magical beasts. Wang Xian cupped his fists at them. Then, he moved and left. The barbarian Holy Son and Liu Yu Holy Daughter waved their hands. Wang. Wang Xian disappeared in a flash. Now, his void divine dragon body was still a little weak in Wang Xian's eyes. However, he was no longer on the same level as the barbarian Holy Sun and the rest. He wouldn't get any training if he trained with them. He was prepared to act alone and look for some resources to train himself. Chapter 40:10. Wang Xian teleported a few times and found an entrance to the 4th level. His figure moved and he directly entered the cave. The 4th level was slightly higher than the 3rd level. But it wasn't too high. Generally speaking, the strongest beasts in the 4th level were 6th Order Universe Sovereigns. The 5th level was the 7th Order Universe Sovereigns. The 6th level was the 8th Order. The 7th level was the 9th Order. The 8th level was the Pinnacle Realm. As for the 9th level, it was rumored that the limbs of the Sky Yuan creation realm fell, and after a long period of nurturing, powerful magical beasts were born. The magical beasts in the 9th level were strong, but no one knew exactly how strong they were. Of course, they had not reached the Sky Yuan creation realm. They might be comparable to the Pinnacle Realm Sovereigns. The details were still unknown. After Wang Xian arrived at the 4th level, he moved and quickly searched for magical beasts to hunt. At the same time, Wang Xian's main body had also arrived at the Devil Abyss. Compared to the other Void Divine Dragon body, Wang Xian's main body could almost run amok in the entire Devil Abyss. He quickly went from the 1st level to the 8th level. His incredible speed did not hinder him at all. Before the rest of the magical beasts could react, Wang Xian had already flown over. The 8th level. I can meet Pinnacle Sovereign magical beasts here. I can test my strength. Wang Xian came to the 8th level with a smile on his face. The 8th level was located in an extremely deep place. This place was filled with violent energy. The ground and sky were all dark red. Different from the previous levels, there were all kinds of plants in the previous levels. As for this level, it might be because it was too deep, there were not many plants. Even if there were, these plants contained considerable energy and were considered treasures. The entire 8th level was filled with the stench of blood. This stench mixed with the air. Living here for a long time would cause one to go berserk. The weak would go crazy here. Not only were there peak-level Universe Sovereign Realm magical beasts, there were also many 5th Order Universe Sovereign Realm magical beasts. However, the strongest ones were Pinnacle Universe Sovereigns. Wang Xian floated in the air and scanned the area. From time to time, he could sense some magical beasts. Wang Xian had no interest in dealing with the weaker magical beasts. He continued to fly in and sized up the place. After flying for more than 10 hours, the scenery in front of him changed. There was a huge pool of magma in front of them. Yes, lava. It was a magma domain. The lava contained terrifying flames and dark energy. The rolling magma was constantly flowing. From time to time, huge lava torrents would erupt. This isn't ordinary lava. Wang Xian came to the top and sensed the energy within. His eyes flickered. The magma contained boundless energy. If one were to cultivate inside, it would greatly increase the cultivation speed of the fire and darkness attribute. In a flash, he dived into the magma. As soon as he entered, the surrounding energy surged towards him. His eyes flickered. The energy concentration here wasn't any weaker than in the universe ruins. Or even stronger. This should be a powerful treasure land belonging to the magical beast abyss. Moreover, this treasure land isn't small. There must be Pinnacle Universe Ruler Realm magical beasts inside. Wang Xian thought to himself. With a swift move, he flew inside immediately. Although the interior of the magma blocked his vision, with Wang Xian's strength, his eyesight could directly disregard the red and dark magma. These were magma rocks. As he flew rapidly inside, Wang Xian soon sensed something. He sensed a ball of powerful energy in front of him. It should be a rank 9 Universe Ruler Realm magical beast. Wang Xian thought to himself as he sensed the power of this ball of energy. He flew straight over. Hualala. Roar. Roar. The magical beast ahead sensed something. Its body shook and the surrounding magma was shaken away. A vacuum was formed. It looked in Wang Xian's direction with eerie eyes. When Wang Xian saw this magical beast clearly, his eyes flickered. This was a magical beast with a body of black and red. Its body was as hard as a meteorite. A pair of blood-red eyes stared at him. The entire magical beast was a few thousand meters in size and looked terrifying. Wang Xian sized up this magical beast. At this moment, he was attracted by a huge metal meteorite below the magical beast. It seems to be a powerful metal. He sensed it with his mind and his eyes glowed. Now, other than a large amount of resources, what Wang Xian wanted the most was some metal materials. To increase the strength of the Tai Chi Dragon Board and the 5 elements grind. It was a huge piece of metal that contained fire and darkness attributes. It could allow the Tai Chi Dragon Board and the 5 elements grind to absorb it at the same time. Roar roar. At this moment, the magical beast ahead saw Wang Xian's mind engulfing it. His bloodthirsty eyes were filled with rage. With a swift move, he launched an attack on Wang Xian. Wang Xian looked over and chuckled. With a wave of his arm, a gust of energy rushed towards the magical beast. Boom! The horrifying energy penetrated its body instantly. A rank 9 universe ruler realm magical beast died instantly. A 9th order universe sovereign realm magical beast that could wreak havoc in the outside world was killed in a second by Wang Xian. Even the pinnacle universe ruler realm experts were shocked when they saw this. Wang Xian moved and kept the corpse of the demonic beast. After which, he came to the spot where it had been previously. After checking the metal, he smiled. Absorbing this piece of metal should be close to improving the Tai Chi Dragon Board and the 5 elements grind. This metal should have been born here. There should be more. Wang Xian thought to himself. After keeping it, he continued to fly forward. He was prepared to search the surroundings. He continued flying forward. Not long after, Wang Xian encountered a rank 8 universe ruler realm magical beast. After killing it easily, he continued searching the surrounding. Hey! I finally encountered a universe ruler realm magical beast. Time to test out my current strength. After flying for a few hours, Wang Xian sensed something and his eyes lit up. He flew to the right quickly. Soon, he saw a dozen magical beasts lying in the magma, cultivating. In the center, the magical beast was emitting terrifying energy. There are treasures. Wang Xian looked to the side and was delighted. Chapter 4011, a group of pinnacle universe lords. Other than a pinnacle universe ruler realm magical beast, there were over a dozen 8th order and 9th order universe rulers. Beside the group of beasts, there were some metals. Metals that contained fire and darkness attributes. And there was a lot of them. It was enough for the Tai Chi Dragon Plate and the 5 elements grind to achieve a breakthrough. This made Wang Xian's eyes gleam with excitement. His figure moved, and he closed in on the magical beast horde. Boom! The moment he got close, waves of incomparably violent energy rushed towards him. More than a dozen beasts stared at him coldly. Wang! In the next second, a 9th order universe sovereign realm magical beast charged towards Wang Xian. As for the pinnacle universe lord, it laid there motionlessly. It merely glanced at Wang Xian. Hee. Wang Xian's eyes lit up when he saw this. He stretched out his palm and his arm turned into a dragon claw, grabbing at the 9th order universe lord. That magical beast felt the terrifying aura from Wang Xian and was a little dumbfounded. Roar! He hurriedly stopped and growled at the direction behind him. Fut fut! But it was too late. Wang Xian's dragon claw extended and expanded to 10,000 meters long. The terrifying energy instantly crushed the 9th order universe lord. In front, the group of beasts went berserk when they saw their own kind being killed. They floated in the air and stared at Wang Xian coldly. The pinnacle universe lord realm magical beast was also staring coldly at Wang Xian. Roar! It roared and felt the energy from Wang Xian. In the next second, he attacked Wang Xian directly. The other dozen beasts followed closely. Almighty heavenly dragon! When Wang Xian saw them attacking, he waved his arm and hovered in the air. A terrifying sky dragon was formed and attacked the dozen demonic beast. Roar roar! The pinnacle universe lord saw the heavenly dragon that suddenly appeared in the sky. Feeling the threat of death, its heart thumped violently. Roar roar! It roared and went berserk. The fiery red and dark energy on his body intertwined, forming a terrifying storm. In the surroundings, magma flowed towards the surrounding minerals. It formed an incomparably huge space. The rest of the magical beasts immediately went berserk. They charged straight at the great mighty heavenly dragon. Bam bam bam! Boom boom boom! An extremely terrifying collision sound was heard. The heavenly dragon in the sky suppressed them with its invincible power. A torrent of energy enveloped them. The attacks of the dozen magical beasts couldn't withstand Wang Xian's attack at all. It couldn't be broken. Ao ao ao. In an instant, other than the pinnacle universe ruler realm magical beast, all the other magical beasts died. Even if they had already gone berserk. Even that peak universe ruler realm demonic beast was instantly heavily injured. Not bad. When Wang Xian saw the attack of his law of Dharma form, he was satisfied. This was not his most powerful attack. He had yet to unleash his 9-origin dragon domain. He still had an even stronger attack. In addition, he had yet to use his inborn cardinal treasure, the Heaven Yuan fortune fragment. Now, even without relying on treasures, the strength of Wang Xian's body was slightly higher than the pinnacle universe ruler realm. This made Wang Xian feel satisfied. Roar roar. At this moment, the pinnacle universe ruler realm demonic beast stared at Wang Xian in horror. Without any hesitation, it fled into the distance. Trying to escape. Wang Xian smiled coldly as he flapped his unbeginning saint wings. Whoosh. With a terrifying speed, Wang Xian appeared behind him in an instant. He extended his dragon claws and clawed at the beast's body. Roar roar. The pinnacle universe ruler realm demonic beast felt death approaching. It turned around and spat out endless violent energy. The energy contained the explosive power of flames and darkness. Bam! But Wang Xian didn't even flinch. His dragon claws crushed the energy it spat out and landed on its body. Ao ao! The pinnacle universe ruler realm demonic beast let out a scream of despair. Fart! Wang Xian's dragon claws penetrated its body and instantly wiped out all its vitality. Done. Wang Xian waved his arm and kept all the corpses into the mother nest. He moved and came to the nest of the demonic beasts. He scanned the surrounding metal materials and revealed a satisfied look. After the breakthrough of the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon plate, they could rival 3 pinnacle universe rulers. Together, they could fight against 6 pinnacle universe rulers. This was definitely a terrifying combat strength. This magma domain is really a treasure land. Let's continue to see if there are other demonic beasts. Wang Xian thought to himself. With a shift of his body, he continued to fly forward. Now, he had nothing to worry about in this abyss of demonic beast. After flying for a few hours, he didn't see any demonic beasts. After flying for another half an hour, he looked ahead with a startled expression on his face. There was a large number of metal treasures in front of him. These metal treasures were the same as the ones he had just obtained. The only difference was that the number of metallic treasures here was much greater than before. He scanned his surroundings in astonishment. He didn't find any demonic beasts. No, Wang Xian could sense the remnant aura of the demonic beasts in the surroundings. This aura of demonic beasts flew in one direction. What's going on? This place is definitely the nest of a powerful demonic beast tribe. It might even be stronger than the one I had just hunted. Where are the demonic beasts here? They actually abandoned the treasures in their nest and left directly? Did they encounter an attack from the experts of the sword and sorcery universe? No, there are no traces of battle here. They left on their own. Wang Xian stood there and sensed everything around him as he murmured. It wasn't normal for a group of demonic beasts to abandon the treasures in their nest and leave directly. He kept the metal materials and quietly sensed the aura of the demonic beasts. After hesitating for a moment, Wang Xian followed the aura and flew forward. He wanted to see where the demonic beasts had gone to. What situation had they encountered that made them abandon the treasures in their nest? Chapter 40:12. Wang Xian followed the aura of some demonic beasts and flew forward. He was a little curious as to why these demonic beasts gave up on the treasures in their lair and left directly. Was it because there were more powerful treasures? Or was it because of the experts from the sword and sorcery universe? However, based on his understanding, the experts from the sword and sorcery universe should not have come to the depths of the devil beast abyss. In that case, the first possibility was more likely. After all, something that could attract the pinnacle sovereign realm demonic beasts was definitely not simple. He continued flying forward. After flying for a few hours, he had already flown out of the magma area. After flying for a few more minutes, he came to a stop and looked ahead in surprise. Standing here, he could sense the aura left behind by many powerful demonic beasts. There were definitely more than 10 pinnacle sovereign realm demonic beasts. Wang Xian's eyes fell on the entrance of the cave. That was the passageway to the 9th level of the devil beast abyss. It was also the only passageway to the 9th level that Wang Xian had encountered when he came to the 8th level. The 8th level of the devil beast abyss was different from the previous levels. There were many entrances to the lower levels, and they were all very easy to find. This 8th level was the only one that Wang Xian had encountered so far. Around this cave, there were many auras left behind by powerful demonic beast. Wang Xian flew over and got closer. His eyes swept across and finally fell on the entrance of the cave. The entrance was 10,000 meters wide and he couldn't see what was inside. Wang Xian got closer and stared inside. After hesitating for a moment, he flew straight in. Below him was the 9th level of the devil beast abyss. It was also the last level of the devil beast abyss. At the 8th level, there were pinnacle sovereign realm demonic beasts. What kind of existence was in the deepest level? According to the news and rumors from the Sacred Institute and the Forbidden Grounds, there were demonic beasts born from the core energy of the heavens' creation limbs. They were comparable to pinnacle sovereign realm demonic beasts of the space attribute. Although this was just a guess, the possibility was high. However, no one knew what the exact truth was. Wang Xian flew straight to the last level. His speed was very fast. 10 minutes later, he arrived at the lowest level. Boom boom boom, boom boom boom, roar roar, I'm going to eat all of you. Give up resisting. When Wang Xian arrived at the 9th level of the magical beast abyss, a terrifying and vast energy surged towards him. What followed was an incomparably brutal roar. What's this? When Wang Xian sensed the terrifying battle from afar and heard the violent roars, he was shocked. He looked over, and his eyes were filled with shock. The power in front of them shook the heavens. Even Wang Xian was shocked by the horrifying collision of energy. His gaze froze and his expression changed slightly. What's going on? How could the aftermath of the previous battle be so terrifying? Even if you use the fragment of heavenly Yuan good fortune, it won't be able to do much, right? Wang Xian mumbled to himself. He stared ahead and moved his arm. The Book of Water Forbidden spell appeared in his hand. Wrapping himself with water energy, Wang Xian made a move and flew forward. A top-notch expert of the sword and magic universe? He thought to himself, full of vigilance. He used the fragment of the Heaven Origin Fortune treasure to conceal himself, ensuring that he would not be discovered. As he approached, Wang Xian could vaguely see the scene ahead. When he saw this huge battle, his face was filled with shock. It wasn't the experts of the sword and magic universe who were fighting in front, but 3 magical beasts. Yes, 3 magical beasts. Each of the magical beasts was 10,000 meters long. Their bodies were filled with violent and horrifying energy. The energy contained in each of them was much stronger than a pinnacle sovereign realm magical beast. One of them was in the form of a bird beast, with a pair of blood-red wings. On the wings, there were black, squirming flesh. The flesh and blood looked abnormally malignant and horrifying. The second magical beast was in the form of a single-horned, one-eyed bull. Its body was covered with blood-red scales, and each scale was shining brightly. Every single scale seemed to be able to unleash a terrifying attack. The third magical beast was a hunter magical beast. At this moment, the 3 magical beasts were fighting and killing each other. However, among them, the hunter magical beast seemed to be the strongest. It was slightly stronger than the other 2. The sentence just now was obviously from this hunter magical beast. Thousands of magical beasts had gathered around the 3 magical beasts that were fighting. These magical beasts were all 8th order universe sovereigns and above. All of them were prostrating in the surroundings, watching the huge battle with fear. What's going on? A battle between magical beasts. Also, the 3 magical beasts fighting in the middle seemed to have intelligence. Wang Xian looked on in shock. Magical beasts had no intelligence, only strong instincts. This was publicly acknowledged in the sword and magic universe. Even if they could be tamed, they were still magical beasts. Without strong intelligence, the 3 magical beasts in front of them clearly possessed extremely high intelligence. They could even speak. With such intelligence, why were they still fighting? And from the looks of it, they should have been fighting for a long time. Demon Hunter King, you want to devour me? Dream on. Today, I will devour all of you and achieve the great Tao of Heaven Essence. The huge blood-red winged magical beast roared with a face full of rage. How dare you? You are my flesh and blood. I let you return to my body. How dare you resist? Die. The terrifying Demon Hunter King roared with murderous intent. He was like a terrifying monster that could destroy the world, with sharp thorns all over his body. He waved his arm and slashed. The bird demonic beast hurriedly dodged. Roar, roar. We all have independent consciousness. You want to devour me? Dream on. The one-eyed magical beast roared furiously as it stepped on the void with its horns. Boom, boom, boom. The entire void began to tremble and explode. Beams of energy attacked the other 2 magical beasts. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Explosions and confrontations were going on all the time. Wang Xian was shocked when he heard their words. Why did the Hunter Magical Beast King say that they are his flesh and blood? Devouring them can achieve the great Tao of Heaven Essence creation? What's going on? What's going on with these 3 magical beasts? As he spoke, he guessed in his heart. He was extremely shocked. He seemed to have discovered something horrifying. Chapter 40:13, Rumble, Rumble, Rumble. The sounds of battle rang out continuously. The attacks of the 3 demonic beasts were exceptionally terrifying. The 3 of them were fighting individually. When they attacked one of the demonic beasts, the other 2 might erupt in the next second. What's more, their attacks were omnidirectional attacks that enveloped all of their opponent. Chilean ox, rotting bird, I advise you to return to my body. I'll lead you to the creation path of sky origin. In front of them, the Demon Hunter King roared with murderous intent. His body trembled. Behind him, terrifying spikes shot towards the Chilean ox and rotting bird. The attack of his bone spikes was terrifying. Wherever they passed, cracks would appear in the void. The terrifying energy drove the surrounding energy to form a dark spear. The dark spear flew out from the abyss and attacked the other 2 demonic beasts. As for the other 2 demonic beasts, the one-horned and one-eyed Chilean ox was covered in blood-red scales that shone brightly. There were symbols on it that looked like musical symbols. They flew out continuously from his scales. The moment they flew out, these symbols turned into mountains, swords, giant beasts, and many other things. They contained terrifying attack power. As for the rotting bird, with a slight flap of its wings, the entire starry sky was covered in a terrifying corrosive rain. The moment the corrosive rain fell, it formed a unique space. The entire sky seemed to have become its territory. A terrifying territory. The strength of these demonic beasts is definitely not weaker than mine. As Wang Xian watched their battle, his eyes were filled with shock. These 3 demonic beasts were clearly formed from the limbs of a heavenly origin creation stage expert. They had even developed intelligence after cultivating to this stage. However, Wang Xian did not understand why they were fighting. Could they become creation realm experts by devouring their opponents? He was shocked. From afar, he stared at them quietly. All the demonic beasts that were 8th order sovereigns and above watched in awe. The suppression from the bloodline of the 3 demonic beasts made them afraid to move. The battle continued. Time passed day by day. Seeing this, Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. Ha ha ha. After fighting with you for half a year, it's almost time for you to die. 5 months later, the Demon Hunter King in front of them suddenly went berserk. Suddenly, terrifying bone spikes appeared on his back. Each of the blood-red bone spikes was a few thousand meters long. Most importantly, his bone spurs were very thick and sharp, and there was light flowing on them. The demon hunter king had gone berserk. His strength was clearly the strongest among the three magical beasts. And now, he was the first to go berserk. Roar, demon hunter king, do you think we're afraid of you? Chilean ox, let's cripple his claws first. The rotten bird roared loudly when it saw the demon hunter king going berserk. Its cold eyes were filled with bloodthirst. He roared and went berserk as well. Waves of dark energy surged out from his body. The power of darkness condensed into a black liquid that spun around him. Both of you devoured my offspring. You have to die. The horns on top of Chilean Ox's head glowed as he went berserk. His body began to grow larger, and the light on his scales turned blood red. Each scale was like a terrifying weapon. It was like a terrifying war machine. Between the three magical beasts, there was obviously a deep blood feud. They did not join forces to fight against the other one. The three magical beasts went berserk at the same time. An even more terrifying battle broke out. Not far away, Wang Xian watched quietly as the battle escalated. This was the real battle. A battle that was close to the heavenly Yuan creation realm. Even if a pinnacle universe lord expert stepped into it, he would be crushed by their violent energy. Too strong. Simply too strong. Wang Xian was slightly shocked. If these three magical beasts attacked him together, they could probably kill him completely. The battle continued. More than 10 days passed again. The three magical beasts were in a killing frenzy, and their aura did not diminish. Their berserk state could sustain them for a long time. Roar roar. You two foolish things. You are just a piece of flesh that fell from my body. Today, I will take it all back. Die. Today, I will show you the might of the crazy devil Argia Sky Devil God. Argia Sky Devil God Shadow. Half a month later, the demon hunter king suddenly let out a wild roar. His voice had changed. In the next instant, he suddenly spread his arms. An extremely terrifying shadow of a demon god appeared behind him. This devil god shadow was similar to the demon hunter king, but it looked 10 times more ferocious. The horrifying shadow exuded an incomparably terrifying aura. When Wang Xian felt this aura, his expression changed drastically. This aura is many times stronger than what the demon hunter king unleashed just now. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes and revealed a shocked expression. Has he touched upon the realm of heavenly Yuan fortune? He was shocked. After hesitating for a moment, he took a few steps back. The sudden eruption of the demon hunter king and the horrifying strength could crush him directly. Damn it, demon hunter king. No, you are not the demon hunter king. You have been invaded. You have been invaded. The rotten bird saw the sudden eruption of the demon hunter king and the horrifying devil god shadow. It was shocked and roared in fear. How is this possible? Argia Sky Devil God. Argia Sky Devil God is in the crazy devil universe. How could it be here? Demon Hunter King, you are playing tricks. The Chilean bull also narrowed its eyes and roared in anger. You two brats, I used my flesh and blood to give birth to you. Since you don't know how to repay me, I can only crush you and devour you completely. At this moment, the Demon Hunter King was exceptionally horrifying. His aura was completely different from before. Previously, his body contained the metal and darkness attributes. Now, there was an additional earth attribute. The energy that was mixed together was unusually violent. In addition to his special body and the devil god shadow behind him, his strength and aura were far stronger than before. Shadow Shroud, Devil God Embrace. Die. The Demon Hunter King roared. The horrifying devil god shadow behind him spread its arms and shrouded the rotten bird and the Chilean bull. When the devil god shadow spread its arms, it was as though it was embracing the entire world. Chapter 40:14, Demonic Shadow. Embrace the world. When the Demon Hunter King let out a creepy sound as though he was possessed by a heavenly Yuan creation level. This horrifying attack covered the entire space. All the magical beasts in the surroundings were instantly enveloped by it. Even where Wang Xian was, he was quickly embraced by this horrifying shadow. At the sight of this, Wang Xian's expression changed drastically. Without any hesitation, he quickly dodged to the back. What a horrifying attack! Looking from afar, Wang Xian stared ahead. The shadow of a demonic god appeared on the 9th level of the magical beast abyss. His head was at the highest point and his feet were on the ground. An embrace enveloped the entire space. I'm afraid the Demon Hunter King is about to win. Will he be able to reach the heavenly Yuan creation level after devouring the other 2 magical beasts? If he can, it'll be horrifying, Wang Xian murmured with a face full of shock. When the space was enveloped, a horrifying roar came from within. How can you borrow the power of the Argatian mad demon god? How can you be the Argatian demon god? We are the blood-stained limbs of the Argatian demon god. We were born from the creation level and no longer belong to you. Why do you want to devour us? Unless there's only one possibility. There's only one possibility. That is, the Argatian demon god has fallen. You have invaded the body of the Demon Hunter King and replaced him. You want a second life. In the darkness, the furious voices of the rotten bird and Chileen Bull could be heard. They were filled with disbelief and disbelief. The Demon Hunter King had been invaded. The current Demon Hunter King was no longer the Demon Hunter King of the past. His consciousness had been occupied by the Argatian demon god. Why would a heavenly Yuan creation level Demon Hunter King's body? There was only one possibility. The Argatian demon god at the heavenly Yuan creation level had fallen due to some special reason. Therefore, he wanted to use the body of the Demon Hunter King to revive. Here it's too late now. I've been waiting for this moment for a long, long time. I'm 90% confident of returning to my peak after devouring you two. Die, you two. Violent laughter came from within. Following which, Wang Xian saw a horrifying aura coming from within. No. Screams were heard. It lasted for a long time. Wang Xian stared at it with flickering eyes. Boom, boom, boom. Just when Wang Xian thought it was coming to an end, suddenly, he saw a demonic beast emitting a terrifying glow. Runes spun around him, and he rushed out from inside, drenched in blood. It flew towards Wang Xian. Hey! Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw the figure dashing out. It was that kind of Chileen ox. His entire body was in a terrible state, and some of his scales had already disappeared. His aura was extremely weak. He fled with all his might and soon arrived before Wang Xian. Wang Xian sized him up with sparkling eyes. This was a devil beast that had surpassed the peak of the sovereign realm. It was a demonic beast born from the heavenly essence creation limb. This Chileen bull's strength was not much weaker than his. If he could kill it, it would definitely be a terrifying amount of resources. The Chileen bull flew over. Behind it, the demon god Agatha did not immediately chase after it. Perhaps it was because of the rotting birds or some other reason. He didn't give chase. This is an opportunity. When Wang Xian saw it, his eyes shone with excitement. His body moved, ready to attack. The moment Wang Xian moved, the Chileen bull also noticed him. Save me. The Chileen bull saw Wang Xian and immediately transmitted a message to him with a pleading look. When Wang Xian heard it, he was taken aback as he sensed the energy in his body. His current aura was not even as strong as a peak of the universe Lord Realm expert. Swish. With a wave of his arm, the starfield fragment appeared in his hand and shrouded the Chileen bull. Wang Xian did not kill him. Instead, he trapped him. Hurry up and leave. The rotting bird's attack caused some trouble for the Agatha devil god, but he can react quickly. Hurry up and run, or we will all be killed by him. The Chileen bull was shocked when he felt himself trapped and Wang Xian's strength. But he still shouted anxiously. If he stayed here and was caught by the Agatha devil god, he would definitely die. If he left this place, there was still a chance of survival. Therefore, at this moment, he did not care who Wang Xian was or what his intentions were. All right, let's go. Wang Xian did not kill him. With a swift move, he brought the Chileen bull far away. Head to the front right. That's my old nest. There are some treasures there. Take them and escape to the upper levels immediately. The Chileen bull continued. All right. Wang Xian nodded. With a wave of his arm, a stream of energy was injected into the Chileen bull's body. As long as he moved, the Chilean Bull would die instantly. He came to the front of the Chilean Bull. Below them, a planet appeared. The planet brought them away at a terrifying speed. Now that Wang Xian's strength had increased, he could basically use all the energy in the heavenly Yuan fate fragment. After all, this was just a fragment. With Wang Xian's strength, it would not be a problem to control it completely. You. Who are you? An expert from the sword and sorcery universe? The Chilean Bull looked at Wang Xian and couldn't help but ask when he sensed their speed. As he spoke, his eyes were filled with wariness. But he could also feel that there was an energy in his body that could destroy him instantly. Sort of. Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian nodded his head with a beaming face. He was also sizing up the Chilean Bull with curiosity. What's the situation in the 9th level of the magical beast abyss? How did you guys develop intelligence? Wang Xian stared at him and asked. Magical beasts did not have intelligence. He was indeed surprised that these 3 magical beasts developed intelligence. Of course, he could guess something. We are demonic beasts born from the creation of heaven and earth. When I cultivated to the universe ruler realm, I was born with great intelligence. The Chilean Bull fell silent for a moment before answering. Are the other 2 like this too? Why did you guys suddenly start killing each other? Can the Demon Hunter King break through after devouring you guys? Wang Xian continued to ask curiously. I don't know. The Demon Hunter King Rotten Bird and I were born from the same heavenly Yuan fate fragment. We have the same physique and bloodline. In the past, we didn't have much hatred for each other, nor did we fight each other, but tens of millions of years ago, we suddenly sensed something. We sensed that as long as we devour each other, we might become stronger. The Demon Hunter King and Rotten Bird started attacking me, and I retaliated. The Chilean Bull answered. Chapter 40:15. Huh? Wang Xian was astonished when he heard Chilean Bull's words. He could sense it directly. As long as he devoured the other party, he would be able to break through. Why would you sense it? Wang Xian asked Chilean Bull, slightly surprised. I didn't understand it in the past, but now I understand a little. Chilean Bull's eyes sparkled. The Demon Hunter King is no longer himself. He has been invaded, and what has invaded him is the will of Aja Sky Demon God. The main reason why we were able to cultivate to this level is because we were born on the flesh and blood of Aja Sky Demon God. In other words, we were born from his flesh and blood. Now that we have this feeling in our minds, there is only one possibility for the Demon Hunter King to be invaded by Aja Sky Demon God across the barrier of the universe. Aja Sky Demon God has fallen, completely fallen. His fall gives us the feeling that we can break through as long as we devour the other party. Because the barrier before us has disappeared, we can also advance to the creation realm. Chilean Bull shared his speculation with Wang Xian. When Wang Xian heard this, his face was filled with astonishment. The birth of creation realm wasn't something that could happen just because one wanted to. The number of creation realm experts that could be born in a universe was limited. Just like the 9 sources universe. Once a water attribute expert advanced to the creation of sky origin stage, other water attribute experts would never be able to step into the creation of sky origin stage. Unless this water attribute expert died, they would not be able to escape. Otherwise, there would be no more creation realm experts of the same attribute. In the 9 sources universe, there were 9 attributes. In other words, only 9 creation realm experts could be born. Of course, there was another type, and that was the combination of attributes. For example, the yin and yang attribute. If one cultivated the light and darkness attribute at the same time, they would be able to enter the divine creation realm by cultivating both attributes at the same time. However, the difficulty of advancing to the creation realm by cultivating 2 attributes was twice as difficult as cultivating 1 attribute. Don't underestimate the difficulty. Currently, there were no 9 creation realm experts in the 9 sources universe. From this, one could see how difficult it was. There was also a second way to advance to the creation realm. For example, there were fire attribute creation realm experts in the 9 sources universe. However, in the sword and magic universe, there was no fire type heaven's origin creation. In that case, Fire-type experts from the Nine Essences universe could come to the sword and magic universe to make their breakthroughs. That was possible. The reason why the cataclysm was so brutal was because of the Great Tribulation. In fact, every time the cataclysm began, countless living beings in the universe would perish. This was one of the most important reasons. This was the quota for breaking through. Countless universe experts fought for the quota. This was the reason why so many peak sovereign realm experts were fighting crazily. He wanted to break through. He wanted a spot. Because of this, blood flowed like rivers and the universe dimmed. If those powerful cosmoses wanted to make their own cosmos even more powerful, they would have to annihilate and subdue the life forms in that cosmos. He ordered his subordinates, his heirs, and his disciples to use this quota to complete their promotion. The Chilean bulls and the others possessed many different attributes. The energy within his body was incomparably violent. With 2 or 3 types of energy in their bodies, it was basically impossible for them to break through. Another thing was that they were born from the flesh and blood of the fortune of heaven. How could a creature born from the flesh and blood of the fortune of heaven realm advance to the fortune of heaven realm? This was impossible. No matter how great the opportunity was, it was impossible for them to break through. The only thing was that the heavenly origin fortune realm cultivator had perished. With the barrier in front of them gone, they could advance further. Moreover, it would be easier for them to take this step compared to other experts. It would be easier for them to advance to the fortune of heaven realm. This was also why the Chilean bulls and the others felt that as long as they devoured the other party, they would be able to break through. If one of you devoured the other party completely in the end, would you really be able to advance to the fortune of heaven realm? Wang Xian asked Chilean bull. The possibility is high. Chilean bull nodded and guessed that Aja sky demonic god seemed to have sensed that he might perish during the previous cataclysm. Therefore, he left a seed in the body of the demon hunter king. After he perished, he completely occupied the body of the demon hunter king. He wanted to devour us, reincarnate, and step into the fortune of heaven realm. Wang Xian was slightly shocked when he heard this. Was the fortune of heaven realm that terrifying? He had predicted that he might perish and therefore set a trap. He wanted to be reincarnated. He wanted to step into the fortune of heaven realm again. Moreover, as long as he devoured the rotten bird and Chilean bull, he might be able to break through completely in no time. It was truly terrifying. In that case, if you devoured the rotten bird and the demon hunter king, you might also be able to break through to the fortune of heaven realm. Wang Xian remained silent for a few minutes. His eyes flickered as he looked at Chilean bull and asked, "The possibility is high. The barrier in front of us has disappeared. Among the 3 of us, whoever cultivates faster will be able to advance to the fortune of heaven realm. However, the balance has been broken. The demon hunter king has become the Aja sky demonic god. Moreover, the rotten bird has been killed by him. His strength will increase exponentially, and it will be hard for me to catch up." Chilean bull answered. Wang Xian fell silent when he heard this. This Aja sky demonic god was very strong. Even before he devoured the rotten bird, Wang Xian would not even be able to keep his life if he fought him with the help of the fortune of heaven realm fragment. Unless he broke through once more. As long as he broke through again, he might be able to kill the Aja sky demonic god. However, if he wanted to break through again, he would need to consume too many resources. Oh yes, you mentioned that there are still treasures in your lair. Are there many treasures? Wang Xian asked Chilean bull. There are many. My territory is huge and there are many treasures. Chilean bull nodded and looked ahead. It's right in front. That's my lair. I hope you won't kill me. Spare my life. As he spoke, he looked at Wang Xian with a pleading look. If you are willing to submit to me, I can let you go. However, if you don't, I won't let you go. Wang Xian stared at him and said directly. Chilean bull's expression did not change much when he heard Wang Xian. This was within his expectations. Chilean bull was a human and he was a magical beast. They were mortal enemies. There was no way he would let him go easily. Especially after witnessing his strength, he would not let him go and leave behind any future troubles. Sure, I'm willing to submit. Chileen Bull could only lower his head helplessly in the end. Chapter 40:16. Alright, since you're willing to submit, swallow this blood essence and don't put up any resistance. In addition, if you submit to me, I won't mistreat you in the future. In the future, you might have a chance to step into the creation realm of Sky Yuan. When Wang Xian saw the Chileen Bull submitting to him, he was thrilled. He had witnessed Chileen Bull's strength with his own eyes. This was a super expert that could match up to his current strength. Its strength was definitely very close to the creation realm of Sky Yuan. In fact, he could even see his own path of breakthrough. Subduing such a demonic beast as his subordinate would be a huge boost to the Dragon Palace. After all, it was a demonic beast that was born from the blood-stained limbs of creation realm of Sky Yuan over a long period of time. Let's go to your territory first. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he looked ahead. That was the territory of Chileen Bull. Yes, boss. Chileen Bull swallowed the blood essence that Wang Xian had given him. A stream of consciousness surged into his mind. He knew that he was completely under Wang Xian's control. Therefore, he greeted Wang Xian respectfully. As for calling him master, he couldn't bring himself to do so. After all, his own strength was extremely terrifying. One of the reasons why he was willing to submit to Wang Xian was that Wang Xian's strength had shocked him. He knew that the strength of his boss wasn't any weaker than him when he was at his peak. Boss, we have to take all the resources and treasures and leave this place immediately. Once Ajah Demon God recovers, he might come after us immediately. His strength is terrifying, especially the shadow of the demon god. I had to give it my all to escape. Chileen Bull reminded Wang Xian. I know. Wang Xian nodded. He naturally knew how terrifying Ajah Demon God was. Hey! What terrifying energy! At this time, Wang Xian suddenly sensed the majestic energy in front of him. His face was filled with shock. Boss, that's my old lair. Chileen Bull said. Your old lair actually contains such majestic energy. Do you have a lot of treasures here? Wang Xian widened his eyes and couldn't help but ask. You can say that. The Chileen Ox nodded. The birth of the Devil Beast Abyss has not only stained this place with the blood of the Aga heavenly demon god, but also with the blood of other heaven origin creation experts. It's just that the other heaven origin creation experts didn't have their limbs here. Apart from the blood of the fortune of heaven, there were also the blood of countless other experts. I don't know exactly how fierce the war was in the last eon, but the number of powerful existences and devils who died was innumerable. That's why there's a lot of energy and treasures here. 3 of Ajation's 4 limbs gave birth to me, the Rotten Bird, and the Demon Hunter King. The last limb gave birth to a large number of other magical beasts, as well as some resources and treasures. Upon hearing that, Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. He looked at the Chileen Bull with astonishment. You seem to know a lot. Through some blurry images and fragments, the Chileen Bull answered truthfully. There are so many resources here. Why didn't the fortune of heaven of the sword and magic universe flatten this place and take away all the treasures? Wang Xian continued to ask. There's only one possibility. The 2 divine origin creation realm powerhouses of the sword and sorcery universe are injured. Furthermore, they've suffered very serious injuries. They're in deep sleep and might not have woken up yet. Once they've completely recovered, they'll probably clean up this place. However, if they are any later, Ajacian Demon God will be reborn for a second life. At that time, it will be a terrifying disaster for the sword and magic universe. A war at the level of the fortune of heaven is earth-shattering. In order to kill a fortune of heaven, I'm afraid multiple fortune of heaven would have to join forces. The Chileen Bull answered. Are they in hibernation due to serious injuries? That's possible. Wang Xian nodded his head. The fall of Ajacian Demon God was definitely related to this war between the experts of the sword and magic universe. For a heavenly Yuan creation to leave his limbs here, his injuries must have been extremely terrifying. Otherwise, an expert of this level would have been able to recover immediately. Even if he lost his head, he would be able to recover immediately, let alone losing his limbs. One could imagine how much damage the source of Ajacian Demon God had suffered. The 4 limbs that had fallen here were also his source limbs. The energy here is too terrifying. Let me see how many resources there are. At this time, Wang Xian had arrived above the Qilin bull's territory. He was attracted by the boundless energy around him, interrupting his train of thought. He stared down fervently and flew over immediately. I've set up a restriction here. Boss, I'll open it now. The horn of the Qilin bull emitted a ray of light. As the light shone on the ground, the restriction defense disappeared. To be able to cultivate to this level and be born from the flesh and blood of the fortune of heaven, their strength, combat skills, and abilities were numerous and terrifying. When the restriction disappeared, even more terrifying energy surged over. Wang Xian looked down and was astonished. A huge sea of blood and flesh flowers. A group of special flowers, blood red in color, resembling flesh and blood. However, they did not have the bloodiness of flesh and blood. Instead, they were filled with a sense of beauty. They contained boundless energy. These are the blood flowers that accompany me. I've absorbed a portion of them and nurtured another portion myself. This is the largest resource in my territory. The Qilin bull looked over and revealed a proud look. As long as I devour a large amount of blood flowers, my injuries will recover rapidly. You're using them to recover? What a waste. Wang Xian replied immediately upon hearing it. Yes, what a waste. The resources and treasures here were too huge. Wang Xian had a feeling that as long as he absorbed all the resources here, even if he could not break through, he would be just a little bit away. As long as he broke through, his strength would be even more terrifying. He might even be able to touch the true fortune of heaven. At the thought of this, Wang Xian was extremely excited. He had thought that he would need too many resources to break through. To think that this Qilin bull was a treasure trove. Not only was his strength terrifying, but he was also given so many resources. This guy was really his lucky star. Boss, if I don't use these blood flowers to recover, I'll need at least a few 100 million years. Upon hearing Wang Xian, the Qilin bull's single eye widened. The reason why he had asked Wang Xian to come here was because he wanted these resources to heal his injuries quickly. In the end, he said that it was a waste to heal his injuries. Isn't my boss a little too greedy? Chapter 40:17. These resources are more than enough for me to level up. It's a bit of a waste to give them to you. Take the resources here immediately and let's leave. Wang Xian ignored Qilin bull's words and spoke with passionate eyes. Even if the resources here weren't enough for him to level up, there wouldn't be much left. Once Wang Xian could make a breakthrough, it would be a huge thing for him to increase his strength. For the Dragon Palace, it was a big deal. At that time, he might be able to have a real clash with Tian Yuan Fortune. At that time, why would they be afraid of the Phoenix clan? Why would they be afraid of the angels? When the time comes, I'll just do it. Moreover, if Wang Xian's strength improved, he might be able to kill Aja, heavenly demon god. At that time, maybe the Qilin bull would have a chance to step into the divine essence creation stage. By then, the Dragon Palace would have 2 divine essence creation realm cultivators. Absolutely terrifying. As long as I break through, I am confident that I can kill that Aga, heavenly devil god. At that time, you can devour Aga, heavenly devil god. Wang Xian regained his excitement. With a swift move, he flew towards the resources below and quickly stored them into the mother nest. What? Boss, can these resources help you break through? Breaking through to the creation of heavenly origin? Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, Qilin bull was dumbfounded and asked in astonishment. I haven't reached the heavenly Yuan fate realm, but my strength shouldn't be much weaker than that. Wang Xian said confidently. Boss, let me help you collect the resources. When the Qilin bull heard this, it instantly became excited. His battle prowess was comparable to that of a heavenly origin creation realm cultivator. What? Wouldn't he have a chance to break through to the creation of heaven realm if his boss killed Aja demon god in the future? Wouldn't he have reached the heavens in a single bound? Heavenly primordial creation. This was an eternal existence in the universe, the most terrifying expert. If he could break through to this realm, then he, Qilin bull, would be willing to do anything for boss. In the future, he could be said to be in existence below only one person and above tens of thousands. What did his own injuries count for? At the very most, it would take a few 100 million years to slowly recover. What's the big deal? The more he thought about it, the more excited he got. He worked hard to help Wang Xian keep all the resources. Wang Xian did not notice the excited look on the unicorn bull's face. At this moment, he was very excited. This time, it was really a great opportunity. Hey, do you have a lot of metal materials here? When Wang Xian and the rest arrived at the resting place of the Qilin bulls, Wang Xian looked ahead and his eyes lit up. Yes, boss. I know that these metal materials are very precious, but they are useless to a magical beast like me, so I use them to decorate my sleeping place. The Qilin bull immediately replied. All right. When Wang Xian saw this, he grinned again. There were simply too many metals in the Qilin bull. Every single one of them had a very high level. Compared to the amount of metal materials he obtained in the 8th level of the magical beast abyss, it was several dozen times more. This is almost enough for the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon coil to achieve another breakthrough, to be able to reach my current level. His eyes were blazing. With a wave of his arm, he put it away. Go. After collecting all the resources, Wang Xian flew upwards with Unicorn. Do you know the passageway to the 8th level? Boss, I've built a secret passage to the 8th floor. Only I know about it. The Qilin bull immediately replied, it's not far from here. Alright, I need to go to a safe and secluded place to absorb all the resources and see if I can achieve a breakthrough. Wang Xian said to the Qilin bull. Boss, we'd better hide further away. I'm born from the flesh and blood of the Ajah heavenly devil god. If we don't hide further away, he might find us and sense us. The Qilin bull said immediately. Alright, if that's the case, let's go to a remote place, to the edge of this universe. Wang Xian nodded as an idea formed in his mind. He wanted to go to the place where he came from in this universe. He would improve his strength there first. After his improvement, even if the passageway was exposed, Wang Xian had nothing to worry about given his strength. The Qilin bull had no objections and left quickly with Wang Xian. The Qilin bull was very familiar with the magical beast abyss. Under its guidance, Wang Xian soon arrived at the highest level. Following which, Wang Xian identified a direction and flew rapidly. His flying speed was very fast. After a year, he arrived at a city and started to teleport. For the next 10 years, Wang Xian continued teleporting. After arriving at a remote location, Wang Xian borrowed the power of the Tianyuan Fate Shard and flew for more than 10 years before he arrived at the location of the passageway that led to the 9 Origins Universe Divine Dragon Tribe's treasure vault. Let's do it here. You can also recover from your injuries on the side. Wang Xian released Qilin bull from the mother nest and instructed it. Yes, boss. The Qilin bull immediately answered and lay down to recover from its injuries. Wang Xian did not hesitate at all. After laying down an energy shield, he immediately transformed into his divine dragon form. He placed a large amount of resources in front of him and began to devour them. At the same time, the Tai Chi dragon plate and the 5 elements grindstone were also absorbing the metal materials and improving. What? 9 elements. The perfect fusion of the 9 elements. Qilin bull, who was at the side, stared at Wang Xian with his eyes wide open. He was shocked. Boss is also a magical beast. No, Boss isn't a magical beast. He should be a creature of a powerful race. The Qilin bull murmured. His heart was filled with doubt. Wasn't the sword and magic universe a universe dominated by humans? However, since he couldn't figure it out, he didn't think too much about it and started to recover from his injuries. Time passed day by day. In the blink of an eye, tens of thousands of years had passed. Just a little more. On this day, Wang Xian opened his eyes. With a thought, he looked at his attribute. Name, Wang Xian. Race, 9 Origins Divine Dragon, 1 with the Dragon. Rank, 6th Order Universe Ruler. 9 transformations return to 1, Origin, 95%, 5% required for next breakthrough. Magic, dominate the aquatic creatures. Dominate any aquatic creatures lower than your own level. Devour living things to extract the source. Control of the 5 elements cultivation technique. Divine dragon transformation. Divine powers, soul capture, spirit attachment nomological divine abilities. Dragon Eye Lock, 5 elements Dragon Claw, Yin Yang World Breaker, 8 luminaries Dragon Scale, Holy Dragon Shadow, 8 divisions of the Heavenly Dragon, Dragon Tomb, Soaring Cloud Dragon, True Dragon Bodilore of Dharma Form, 8 directional Dragon Pillar, 8 Dragon Clone, Towering Dragon Horn, Great Mighty Heavenly Dragon, Godly Tail Playing with Pearls, Dragon Breath of Life, Shadow Dragon Clone, Netherworld Dragon Pursuit, Netherworld Dragon Conversion, Thunderstorm Dragon Life. Berserk Dragon Star Burst. Domain, 9 Origin Dragon Domain Law of Mastery, Metal, Wood, Water, Fire, Earth, Light, Darkness, Wind, Lightning Divine Kingdom, Dragon Palace Possess Dragon Palace, Innate. Dragon Palace Members, 80600450 inch I'm only 5% away, all the resources had been depleted. Looking at the remaining 5%, Wang Xian was slightly disappointed. Chapter 4018, still lacking a little. Wang Xian looked at his own attributes. All the resources had been depleted. The amount of resources I'm using to level up is too huge. He couldn't help but sigh. Without any exaggeration, Wang Xian could say that the resources he had devoured this time were not something even the obscene Forbidden Land could produce. Perhaps all the resources in the Forbidden Land of Innocence and the Forbidden Land of Flowing Water combined would be more than the resources in the Unicorn Bull's nest. This was mainly because the Chilean Bull did not have any underlings, so it did not need to consume resources. Apart from his own use, all the other resources were stored away. But it was still lacking. If I were to absorb the 5% of the resources, it would take me tens of millions of years in a treasured land. If I were to cultivate here, it might take me hundreds of millions of years. Wang Xian calculated in his mind. As for bringing all the resources in the Dragon Palace over, it was not very effective. The Dragon Palace was still in the process of upgrading and didn't have a lot of resources. Even if they were all given to him, it wouldn't be of much use. As for the treasured land, he really didn't know. There were treasures in the Devil Beast Abyss that could speed up one's cultivation, but once one reached there, one would probably be killed by the Aga Sky Demon God. Let's just cultivate here. So what if it takes a few 100 million years? After much consideration, Wang Xian felt that this was the only place to cultivate. To be able to break through in a few 100 million years, this speed was extremely fast. One should know that Wang Xian's current improvement was only slightly weaker than breaking through to the creation realm of Heavenly Yuan. He sat there cross-legged and began to quietly absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, transforming it into dragon energy. It was improving bit by bit. At the side, the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon plate were also improving very slowly. As for the injuries on the Chilean bull's body, it would take at least a few 100 million years to recover. There was no hurry at all. Clang clang clang. While Wang Xian's main body was absorbing the spiritual energy for cultivation, at the 5th level of the Devil Beast Abyss, Wang Xian's void dragon body was engaged in battle. Battles could allow people to quickly break through their shackles. Over the past 10,000 years, Wang Xian had first arrived at the 4th level. After hunting some magical beasts, he had encountered some weaker ones. After that, he arrived at the 5th level. Over 10,000 years of battle had greatly improved his mastery of the Tianyuan sword art. At the same time, it also allowed him to grasp a lot more understanding of the space attribute. Perhaps it would only be a few tens of millions of years before his next breakthrough. Wang Xian heaved a sigh of relief after easily killing the 2 6th-order universe sovereigns in front of him. He sat on the ground, absorbed some energy, and began to recover. Over here, there are spatial fluctuations here. It's very likely that it's that guy. At the same time, somewhere not far away from Wang Xian, 7 or 8 figures were constantly teleporting. At the center of the room was a middle-aged man holding a magic compass. Looking at the guidance on the magic compass, he spoke with sparkling eyes. We've already checked the location of the 4th floor of the magical beast abyss. He should be on the 5th floor. If we confirm that it's him, we'll kill him. The eyes of the woman beside the middle-aged man flashed fiercely as she spoke with a cold expression. With our strength, we can easily kill him in an instant. He won't even have time to react. The few middle-aged men beside them said with smiles on their faces, "That brat has a great fortune on him." According to junior brother Shu and I, he was able to break through the demonic pillars in the Cosmos ruins and obtained a large amount of treasures. There might be a great secret on him. And that sword art is indeed very powerful. If we can get it, it will greatly improve our strength. A middle-aged man's eyes were sparkling as he spoke. It's hard to say whether we can obtain that powerful sword art or not. However, we can definitely obtain those 40 powerful swords. Those are 40 top-notch spatial swords. It's really hard to imagine how this kid obtained them. Even I am envious of his talent and opportunities. But it's a pity that he's not a disciple of our forbidden space grounds. He's also rather high profile. He actually dares to show off so many treasures. He doesn't know his place. The middle-aged man holding the magic compass in the middle said with a smile. They were experts from the forbidden space grounds. The middle-aged man in the middle had reached the 7th Order Universe Sovereign realm. A 7th Order Universe Sovereign with spatial attributes was already considered an expert in this universe. And their target this time was Wang Xian. They listened to some information from Saint Shu and I. Under Saint Shu and I's suggestion, they set their sights on Wang Xian, with regards to the resources and the potential opportunities in the hands of Saint Wang Xian. Even the experts from the forbidden space grounds were tempted. They could not resist the temptation. The group of them would definitely attack Wang Xian. Among the 8 of them, the weakest was at the 6th Order Universe Sovereign realm. If they wanted to kill Wang Xian, it would be a piece of cake. After all, Wang Xian was at the 5th Order Universe Sovereign realm. He could definitely kill him in an instant. Even if he had the treasures to revive him, he wouldn't know how he died. They had searched for thousands of years in the abyss of devil beasts and finally found him. The 8 of them concealed themselves for a while and continued to fly forward. It's him. After flying for more than 10 minutes, they immediately spotted Wang Xian. Seeing the figure sitting cross-legged on the ground, their eyes were filled with excitement and greed. Not to mention the other treasures, just the 40 top-notch space swords were already a huge treasure for them. Among the 8 of them, most of them only had one top-notch space treasure. And it wasn't even the space sword. It was the other supporting treasures. They were far from comparable to the top-notch space sword. I'll go and kill him in an instant. You guys wait here. The 7th Order Sovereign Realm expert in the center of the group spoke. As his voice fell, his figure had already disappeared. He was 2 levels higher than Wang Xian. Killing him in an instant was easy. At the same time, below, Wang Xian, who was recovering his energy and cultivating, sensed the arrival of the 8 of them. Although Wang Xian's void divine dragon body was a little weak, his senses were still terrifying. Seeing that they wanted to kill him, Wang Xian was slightly taken aback. He opened his eyes. Behind him, the shadow of a void divine dragon appeared. Wang Xian's void divine dragon body was very weak. He was still at the 5th Order Sovereign realm. Therefore, Wang Xian's main body had left some tricks on this body, some life-saving tricks. Chapter 4019, Die. 5th level of Devil Beast Abyss. Wu Hongshan locked his cold gaze on Wang Xian from the forbidden space. He was the previous generation's son of saint. Now, he had the strength of a 7th Order Universe Lord. Given his strength, it would be a piece of cake for him to kill this puny son of saint. Very easy. After all, he was 2 levels lower than him. He did not think he would fail. In the next second, he could already see the head of Wang Xian's saint flying off. He saw his vitality vanishing instantly. However, when he was only 100 meters away from Wang Xian, he suddenly felt a terrifying pressure. He felt the threat of death. He saw a shadow that he had never seen before appearing behind Wang Xian's back. This illusory figure contained unparalleled power. At this moment, he was terrified. What's going on? What's going on? Wang. At this moment, in front of him, Wang Xian stared at him calmly. He extended his arm slowly. The divine dragon shadow above him slowly extended its dragon claws. Wang Xian's virtual dragon divine dragon body was equivalent to a super expert's doppelganger. After Wang Xian left behind some tricks, he wanted to completely destroy this doppelganger. Only a pinnacle universe lord could do that. It was impossible for the 7th Order Sovereign Realm expert in front of him to kill him. Wang Xian extended his arm and clawed at him. In an instant, Wu Hongshan's body tightened as he felt the surrounding void was completely locked. He himself was completely imprisoned there, unable to move a single step. Only a pair of eyes were filled with horror. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the area before looking at the spot behind him. Similarly, he extended his dragon claws and clawed at the other 7. Wang. The dragon claws seemed to have pierced through the void and appeared in front of the other 7 experts of the forbidden space void, grabbing at them. What? Everything happened in an instant. The 7 experts of the forbidden space void behind did not even have time to react. In their opinion, the previous generation's son of saint from the forbidden space void had taken action personally. It was too easy for a 7th Order Universe Sovereign to kill a 5th Order Universe Sovereign in an instant. All they had to do was wait to split the treasures. But before they could even react, they had already been imprisoned and captured. Their eyes were wide open, filled with disbelief and horror. Are you experts from the Void Forbidden Land? Wang Xian sized them up and asked plainly. How is this possible? How was this possible? How can you possess such terrifying power? No, that's not right. This isn't your power. This is the power you borrowed. A powerful expert left a terrifying life-saving method on your body. Wu Hongshan, who was in the forbidden void, stared at Wang Xian and roared in fear. Are you experts from the forbidden space zone? Wang Xian ignored him and clenched his fist in the air. A terrifying flame began to burn their bodies. He calmly asked again, Ah. In an instant, incomparably tragic cries came from their mouths. Yes, we are. Another expert from the forbidden void could not bear the pain coming from his soul and roared loudly. They were experts from the forbidden void. Their powerful backgrounds had not allowed them to experience too many life-and-death battles. Nor had they endured such a terrifying attack. Tell me, why are you here to kill me? Wang Xian stared at them and continued to ask coldly. The terrifying flame on their bodies did not stop. It's because we know you have treasures on you. We want those treasures. Quick, let us go. Otherwise, our space base will not let you off. That expert from the forbidden void roared with a hideous and painful face. Hee. Wang Xian heard them and sneered. Let you off? Is that possible? Kill us if you have the guts. Let me tell you, if you offend the forbidden void, we will not let you off. We will not let you off. Wu Hongshan was in excruciating pain as he roared at Wang Xian with a distorted face. You want to die? Not so easy. Wang Xian murmured. The divine dragon shadow on his body opened its mouth and swallowed them, following which, the divine dragon shadow turned into a ball and landed in his hand. No. Kill us. Kill us now. From the ball, Wu Hongshan's shrill roar was heard. Now, he just wanted Wang Xian to kill him directly. Wang Xian smiled with a sarcastic look on his face. The sword and sorcery universe also had resurrection treasures. It was highly possible that they had such resurrection treasures with them. If he killed them directly, they would be resurrected immediately. Would Wang Xian be that stupid? In order to deal with such situations, the trump card that Wang Xian had left behind could trap them directly in a realm. They would be in a state where they could neither live nor die. Under such circumstances, they could not be resurrected and could only remain in such a state. The experts from the Forbidden Void are coveting the treasures on me. It should have something to do with Saint Shu Ni and that saintess. I can feel their jealousy and greed in their eyes. Wang Xian murmured with a tinge of coldness in his eyes. How dare they come to kill him? They really don't know what's good for them. You guys are lucky. I won't kill you for now. As Wang Xian spoke, he immediately flew to the upper level of the Devil Beast Abyss. He did not intend to seek revenge on Saint Shu Ni and the rest, nor did he intend to seek revenge on the Forbidden Void. Wang Xian's actual body had not improved. Everything would have to wait until he improved. At that time, they would all die. If the Forbidden Void could not provide Wang Xian with a perfect solution, the Forbidden Void would also have to pay a terrible price. Of course, Wang Xian did not dare to boast that he could easily destroy the forbidden void. After all, the sword and sorcery universe still had 2 creation realm expert. I'm not going to continue my training. Let's find a place to cultivate in seclusion. Wang Xian prepared to go into seclusion. The trump card left behind by his actual body had been used up. If he continued to stay here, he would be in danger of dying. Moreover, what if the experts from the Forbidden Void came to hunt him again? Without a trump card, he would be done for. Although he could be resurrected, it was not easy to cultivate to this realm. Wang Xian did not want his void divine dragon body to die. He quickly went to the highest level of the Devil Beast Abyss and came to the teleportation point. He was directly teleported to Tianyuan City. He still had a lot of resources with him. Wang Xian rented a place and began his seclusion in a room. Tianyuan City was still very safe. Chapter 40:20. Wang Xian did not want to make any mistakes at this crucial moment. No accidents. Even if the body of the Void Divine Dragon was attacked, he could still endure it. Endure. Endure until his body broke through. At that time, no one in the entire sword and sorcery universe would be able to do anything to him. This attack did not infuriate Wang Xian too much. The provocation of a few ants was not enough to enrage him. When both of Wang Xian's bodies entered seclusion, time passed the fastest. And in the sword and sorcery universe, the Forbidden Grounds and Sacred Institute were still clearing the Devil's Abyss in an orderly manner. Long Yinyan and Long Yinhao sent some messages to Wang Xian from time to time, telling him about the situation of their training. In addition to his seclusion, Wang Xian also did some recuperation. Tens of millions of years passed in the blink of an eye, and on this day, Wang Xian received messages from Long Yinyan and Long Yinhao at the same time. When he saw this message, his eyes narrowed slightly. In the Devil's Abyss, the experts from the Forbidden Grounds and Sacred Institute were suddenly attacked by a large number of magical beasts. In these tens of millions of years, the experts from the Forbidden Grounds and Sacred Institute had already entered the 6th level of the Devil's Abyss. A large number of magical beasts were destroyed by them, but when they entered the 7th level, they were met with a horrifying attack. The casualties were incomparable. Thousands of 5th-order universe sovereigns and above were killed. According to the messages from Long Yinyan and Long Yinhao, magical beasts carried out a sneak attack on them, and it was an organized sneak attack. The sudden attack left all the experts unable to react. The casualties were incomparable. Moreover, in the 7th level of the Devil's Abyss, an organized magical beast army had appeared. Now, the Forbidden Grounds and Sacred Institute had cancelled the operation of each team, and formed an entire army. They even asked where Wang Xian was now, and if he had time to meet and so on. Wang Xian ignored the latter question, his face revealing a pensive look. The changes in the Devil's Abyss could be related to Aja Sky Demon God. Aja Sky Demon God, as an existence that was once created by Tianyuan, possessed great wisdom. He had even once invaded the interior of the sword and sorcery universe. Now that he had returned, he could easily organize magical beasts to carry out a sneak attack. He just didn't know how strong this Aja heavenly demon god was. How far was he from the heavenly primordial fortune? I hope this guy breaks through slowly. Once I break through, I should be able to kill him and let the Chilean ox devour him. Wang Xian mumbled to himself. After replying to Long Yinyan and Long Yinhao, Wang Xian continued his cultivation. 100 million years quickly passed by. The realm of Wang Xian's void divine dragon body had also improved, reaching the 6th-order universe sovereign realm. Over the past 100 million years, there had been all sorts of news from the magical beast abyss. Now, the Holy Lands, Forbidden Lands, and Sacred Institute had won consecutive victories after forming their legion. He had killed a large number of magical beasts. Moreover, this battle had been a great tempering for the Sacred Grounds and the Sacred Institute. Because of this, the Sacred Grounds and the Sacred Institute weren't in a hurry, using magical beasts as whetstones. There was no hurry to kill them all. Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he heard the news. He didn't know if the Aga heavenly demon god had done it on purpose or if it was something else. In short, he didn't care. Time passed, and another 100 million years pass. Wang Xian's void divine dragon body had reached the 7th order universe sovereign realm. When he reached this realm, his rate of improvement had slowed to a crawl. His main body was devouring energy in preparation for a breakthrough. Without the support of his main body, the rate of breakthrough was much, much slower. According to Wang Xian's estimation, he would need at least 300 to 400 million years to reach the 8th order universe sovereign realm. This time was calculated according to the fastest. After all, the place where Wang Xian cultivated in seclusion wasn't a land of treasures. Furthermore, there were times when cultivating in seclusion might not be as fast as going out to train. Long Yinyan and Long Yinhao had been fighting and training, and their rate of improvement was very fast. Time passed quickly. Another 200 million years passed. In these 200 million years, the Holy Lands, Forbidden Lands, and Sacred Institute had completely turned the magical beast Abyss into a training ground. 200 million years ago, not a large number of experts had died. Instead, they had given birth to a large number of experts. Later on, the thoughtful Forbidden Land and the flowing water Forbidden Land even issued an order to not exterminate the magical beast, to use it as a training ground for their disciples and expert. This had indeed allowed countless experts and disciples to gain experience and improve. When Wang Xian saw this message, he felt that it was extremely strange. This Ajah Sky Demon God must be plotting something, but he didn't know what it was. I'm about to break through, and in these hundreds of millions of years, at the edge of the sword and magic universe, Wang Xian had been cultivating at the edge for hundreds of millions of years. On this day, when Wang Xian converted the energy in his body into dragon energy, Wang Xian instantly opened his eyes, which were filled with excitement and fervor. Ka. Immediately after, an extremely vast amount of power was emitted from his body. In the sky, an enormous divine dragon body appeared out of thin air. Wang Xian's body had already reached hundreds of thousands of kilometers in length, comparable to a cosmic beast. In a breath, the sky and earth changed color. The wind and clouds stirred. In the chaos at the side, under Wang Xian's aura, the chaos shook continuously, as though there was a huge earthquake. Ding! Congratulations to the host for leveling up and breaking through to the 7th Order Universe Lord Realm. Ding! Congratulations to the host for leveling up. The 9 Origin Dragon Domain has been strengthened. At this moment, the system's voice sounded. Breakthrough. Finally breakthrough. Consumed all the resources of the Qilin Bull. It took another 400 million years for Wang Xian to fill up the last 5% of the energy. Finally, breakthrough. Feeling the explosive energy coming from his body, Wang Xian's body moved slowly. Rumble. Ka. His body moved slightly, and a crack appeared in the void around him. Even the universe couldn't withstand his aura. Horrifying. Horrifying. Wang Xian's eyes shone with excitement. I don't know if the current me can match up to the creation of Tian Yuan. But that Ajah Sky Demon God, the Ajah Sky Demon God that I met previously, even if he cast the Demon God Shadow, I could still kill him directly. At this moment, Wang Xian said confidently. As for the real creation of Tian Yuan, he had to experience it personally to know if he could match up to it. The augmentation of 9 types of energy, the integration of 9 types of energy, and the operation of 9 types of energy. This was the horror of a 9 Origins divine dragon. He was only at the 7th Order Universe Lord Realm now. Chapter 4021. In a year's time, they could almost reach Tianyuan City. In the Tianyuan City of the Sword and Sorcery Universe, Wang Xian, who was in his void divine dragon form, opened his eyes and revealed a faint smile. His main body had been upgraded. Next, the improvement of this void divine dragon's body could be sped up. Currently in the Universe Lord Realm of the 7th Order. Over the past hundreds of millions of years, he had only risen by 2 levels. To Wang Xian, this was extremely slow. Let's stroll around Tianyuan City. Wang Xian stood up. He had been in seclusion for 400 million years. To him, it was really boring. He took out the communication stone plate and sent a message to Long Yinyan and Long Yinhao. I haven't seen them for 400 million years. Long Yinyan and Long Yinhao had sought him out countless times during this period, but they had all been directly rejected by him. After the message was sent, Long Yinyan quickly responded. Wang Xian made a move and flew out. Brother Wang Xian. After more than 10 hours, Long Yinyan flew over and shouted at Wang Xian excitedly. Looking at the figure in front of him, Wang Xian revealed a smile. After not seeing him for 400 million years, Long Yinyan had undergone many changes. Her face was still as exquisite and beautiful as ever. As a cultivator of the water attribute, time did not leave any traces on her face. Instead, it made her figure even more perfect, and it wouldn't be an exaggeration to call her a water fairy. Different from Shui Linglong's cuteness, Long Yinyan had the demeanor of an older sister. During these 400 million years, his strength had also greatly improved. He had already reached the 6th order universe sovereign realm. This speed of improvement was even faster than Wang Xian. The main reason was that the place where Wang Xian cultivated in seclusion for the past 400 million years was not a treasure trove. Compared to fighting frequently and obtaining some resources to improve, there was a huge difference. If he continued to cultivate like this, he would be able to reach the peak of the universe ruler realm before the cataclysm arrive. Long time no see. Wang Xian looked at her and spoke with a smile. Big brother Wang Xian, it's been a long time since we last met. It's been more than 400 million years. Long Yinyan flew to his side and spoke with some hidden bitterness. It's also because of some special reasons that I didn't look for you guys. Wang Xian chuckled. I'm really sorry, but it's fine now. I'll have a lot of time. Where do you want to go? What do you want to eat? Let's go together, he continued to say with a smile. Let's go and eat something delicious. I know a place in Tianyuan City that serves delicious food. Long Yinyan nodded happily. With a blushing face, he reached out and pulled Wang Xian's arm. All right, let's go and have a taste. Wang Xian smiled and nodded his head. He reached out to hold her hand and flew forward. This caused Long Yinyan's body to tremble, and his face to be filled with happiness. After not seeing him for more than 400 million years, Long Yinyan had opened up many things. He also mustered up a lot of courage. The two of them flew into a restaurant. The two of them chatted as they ate. After not seeing each other for 400 million years, their relationship was much better than before. Both of them had a tacit understanding. What I did has nothing to do with me. Shu Qing and the rest shouldn't blame me, right? Over at the main body, Wang Xian chuckled. A true man. Even in death, men were still youths. Right, where's Long Yinhao? Why didn't he come with you? After the two of them finished their meal, Wang Xian suddenly asked Long Yinyan when they came to a scenic spot. Yinhao is now with Saintess Liu Yu. Brother Wang Xian, you would never have guessed that my younger brother is in a relationship with Saintess Liu Yu. Long Yinyan replied. Huh. Wang Xian was slightly taken aback by her word. Long Yinhao is in a relationship with Saintess Liu Yu. Saintess Liu Yu from the Flowing Water Forbidden Area? How did they get together all of a sudden? Not bad, lad. Wang Xian was shocked. Although Long Yinhao had obtained the inheritance from the corpse of a water attribute expert in the demonic column, Saintess Liu Yu had also obtained it. Moreover, Saintess Liu Yu's background and her strength was stronger than Long Yinhao's. This was indeed a surprise to him. Hehe, Xiao Xian, I didn't tell you about them through the communication stone plate. Do you still know about what happened after you left 400 million years ago? The experts and disciples of the Forbidden Grounds, Sacred Grounds, and Sacred Institute were attacked by a large number of magical beasts. At that time, many experts died. At that time, we were also attacked by magical beasts. At that time, Yinhao helped Saintess Liu Yu fend off a fatal attack. Yinhao almost died at that time and was rescued. In the end, his relationship with Saintess Liu Yu improved. After that lad also started to cultivate with all his might. Now, his realm is one level higher than mine. He has reached the 7th order universe sovereign realm. After he broke through, his relationship with Saintess Liu Yu was exposed. I only found out about it later, Long Yinyan said with a smile. Oh, he actually broke through to the 7th order universe sovereign realm? His cultivation speed is really fast. Wang Xian was shocked. I was also very surprised. Perhaps this lad knew that the pressure was greater and worked harder on his cultivation. Coupled with the nurturing from the Laozu and the rest, he improved really quickly. Long Yinyin nodded. Given Yinhao's talent and current strength, he is indeed worthy of Saintess Liu Yu. Wang Xian said with a smile. Long Yinhao would also be his brother-in-law in the future. He. Let's find a time to let him bring Saintess Liu Yu over. Let's have a good gathering, Long Yinyin said. Wang Xian nodded. In the next few months, Wang Xian and Long Yinyin continued to wander around Qianyuan city. After more than 400 million years of development, the entire Qianyuan city had undergone many changes. It would probably take a few years to wander around the entire Qianyuan city. A few months was just a snap of the fingers for Wang Xian and the rest. And on this day, Wang Xian and Long Yinyin were having fun in a lake. Long Yinin's communication device vibrated. When she saw the content, her expression changed and she stood up immediately. Her face was a little pale. What's wrong? Wang Xian saw the sudden change in Long Yinin's expression and frowned slightly. He immediately asked with concern, Big brother Wang Xian, Yinhao. Yinhao has fallen. He has been killed. Long Yinyin said with a trembling voice. Her eyes instantly turned red. What? Yinhao has fallen? When Wang Xian heard this, his expression also changed. He focused his gaze and stood up. He should have a resurrection treasure. Is he resurrected now?